is Logan Moore, and this is Finlandia Fridays.
Welcome to Finlandia Fridays. My name is Michael Babcock. I am your host for this weekly interview series here at Finlandia University. This week we're joined by Logan Moore. Logan, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, Logan is a student here at Finlandia University. Let's have you introduce yourself a little bit. Where are you from? What do you do here at Finlandia?
Well, I'm from Traverse City, Michigan area. I'm currently a junior at Finlandia University, going for my business management major. I came up here and originally went to a college, a much larger college, and it just didn't work out there, so I decided to move to Finlandia University, and immediately, right when I got there, the small class sizes were just phenomenal, and I really just dove right in there.
Excellent. That's a great introduction, and what I love about that is you're telling a little bit more about your story than some of the X's and O's, which, the X's and O's are also impressive. One of the things that happens on a small campus is we have these superstar students who kind of come up and you can see immediate leadership. You can see them getting involved in a way that helps them make a large difference on our campus. And Logan's one of those students. Currently, this year, he's coming in as the campus and community representative for our Student Senate, which is the student government body we have here on campus, and also as the president of Business Professionals of America, which is a new student group we have on campus. And we've had some of these students on our Finlandia Fridays before, and it's interesting to talk to people and get an idea of how this works well for them. But the first part is something that he already touched on in this transferring to a smaller university. Our average class size, as you saw in an article we had earlier this summer, is very small. What is that like as a student for you?
As a student, it's kind of fantastic, really, because the way I learn is through personal relationships with people, and in giant lecture hall, I can't learn. I've tried it, and it doesn't work for me. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who can learn like that by reading on their own and reading through a textbook, but for me, I need the textbook, and I also need to talk to somebody about it, because I feel like having somebody who knows the material enough to where you can go to them and talk to them about any kind of problem, and they most likely know what the problem is because they've gone through it themselves. So having that personal relationship with a teacher is just one of the greatest things that I need for my education.
Yeah, and I love hearing that, because a lot of people might see us talk about small class sizes and might wonder, what benefit is that? But it really comes back to what you said about the type of learner you are. Mm-hmm. It takes all different types of learners to get us to where we are as a society. And at Finlandia University, we're able to fill a niche that I think is important for not just you, but for a lot of students. And also, one thing I mentioned a little bit earlier was this leadership role. This semester you've been able to take on 2 leadership positions.
Along with 18 credits.
Sounds like a busy time.
Oh yeah, really busy.
And so talk a little about the opportunities that Finlandia has provided from that perspective.
My first year here, I focused on school first. I wanted to get really good grades. I wanted to put my effort into it. But I started realizing that I had a lot of downtime, and idle hands are the devil's playthings. So this year I wanted to give back to Finlandia what they already gave to me, which was a very healthy education environment. So I wanted to give back to Finlandia by becoming. I'm an Eagle Scout, so leadership is just something I'm kind of already drawn to, and I really wanted to give back to Finlandia, go down the route of leadership, and I got an email from Aaron Barnett, the Dean of Students, saying that there was a position open in Student Senate this year, and I said, you know what, I might as well jump on top of it, and I applied, and lo and behold, I'm part of the campus and community representative now. I also got an email from Kevin, the Dean of Business, and he said that they're opening up a new chapter of the Business Professionals of America, and I immediately jumped on that because I wanted to, go. I knew that I had enough to give to the table, and I knew that I could jump on that leadership position.
Excellent. There's one other story that you told at a business leaders meeting we had at our campus community, and the story was about something you and your father had done. I'm hoping you can kind of tell that story, because I loved that story.
Yeah, I love that story. When I was really, really young, just first grade, my dad had me in Cub Scouts. I was a Tiger Cub, and he had me get the family dictionary. It's really tiny. And I went and got the dictionary, and he said, now I want you to look up a certain word. So I'm flipping through the pages, and he says, I want you to look up the word quit. And I pulled up the page where quit was supposed to be on, and he had literally cut the word quit out of my dictionary. And he looked at me straight in the eye, and he said, Logan, quit is not in your dictionary. And from that day on, I kind of had, a certain moral standing where if I start something, I'm going to finish it. And I've had that with me ever since.
Yeah, it's a story of sisu for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And as I loved hearing that story, and there was the audience. I talked to a couple of the people that were at that group presentation, and people were really moved by that speech. And it's a fun one. So let's go on to a couple of things you have going on here. Back to Student Senate. You guys are putting on a couple events coming up. One of them is Make a Difference Day. What has the planning been around that?
We've done a lot of planning on Make a Difference Day. There are a lot of different projects that are going on. I know for certain that one is going on at the Salvation Army. That's probably the most amount of people that we need is to go there. Also, it's cleaning up around a few of the parks around Hancock, and just cleaning up and making a difference. That's what the day is about.
Yeah, and this Make a Difference Day is actually tomorrow, so you want to make sure you get out and get involved. If you have no plans on what you're going to do for Make a Difference Day, it's time to make them. Check out our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Finlandia University. We'll have information there. Check out the Student Senate's Facebook page. There'll be information there. Everybody should get out and try to make a difference on this day, because it's really it brings our community together, and it's a good opportunity to get together with people that you might not regularly see and make our community a better place.
Exactly. And I think in a very small community like Houghton and Hancock, sticking together, I think is the biggest thing that we can actually do to, better the community itself.
Excellent. The other thing you have going on is a student forum.
Mm-hmm.
This is an event we do pretty much every year, and I think it's one of the best events on campus. Talk a little bit about how the planning is going for that. I know you guys don't have a date set yet.
Yeah, we're still working on it.
And that'll be in November at some point, if all goes as planned. So check back regularly on that. I'm sure we'll have some reminders here on Finlandia Fridays for our campus community to make sure they get out for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the student forum, we really just want people to come out and just really talk to us. We want to hear complaints, as bad as that sounds, but we want to hear the voice of the students. For the Student Senate to better represent the people, we need voices. And if we don't have voices, we can't make change. So it all starts with you, the student. If you come to us, we will listen, and we will try our best to follow through. Excellent.
Well, I want to thank everybody who's listening here to Finlandia Fridays for this weekly interview series. We're happy to have you on board. Happy to introduce you to Logan Moore, a junior here at Finlandia. It's a business major that's involved with a lot of things on campus. I want to thank you, Logan, for being on the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
All right, we will be back next Friday. And I want to make sure everybody knows you can get a full archive of all the episodes at finlandia.edu/Fridays. You can also subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, where we'd be happy to get into your phone every Friday morning and tell a different story about here at Finlandia University. I want to thank you guys all for viewing, and we'll see you guys next Friday.